Hey guys, and welcome to my replay viewers. I guess you guys are the first ones that see this little welcome because the real people in real live time they come in a little bit later. So how are you guys doing today? I'm going to try to do these two live events a week. Remember I said I was going to try to do two a week, right? So I think I'm going to try to do them on Tuesdays and Fridays and then upload like a recorded video on Sundays. Although this week you might see a recorded video earlier than Sunday because we recorded Joe making the masks that he makes. And I'm going to finish editing that today, and I'd like to just get it out of the way. So I think that's what I'll be doing for this channel. So how is everybody doing? Let me see if some people came in. Let's see. It says one person. Who's the one person? Say hello. I don't know why a lot of like notifications will come on the bottom here when I start. I think Joshua has to look into that for me. Let's see if I'm not on the comments page. All right. Say hello, somebody. 3 people in the room. Man, I am just clicking away notifications for other YouTube channels. Some of them I watch, some of them I don't watch. So I don't know what that's about on the bottom there. Okay, so did you see my title? What did I name it? Tall fences make for good neighbors. Let's see if some more people will come in before we get into the topic today. So tell me who you are and how are you doing, first of all? And would you like these live events to happen like at 5 in the evening better? I wanted to do them at 5 in the evening, but sometimes that's the time Jory comes home. So then there's a lot of hustle and bustle going on in the kitchen. Like 2 o'clock, my time seems a lot better. Hi, Marisol. Long time no see. Let me put this on vibrate so it doesn't like bug us every 2 seconds. So how are you doing? First of all, one of my new viewers made a comment at my cooking page when I did the Alfredo sauce, and she says, I have 2 of your cookbooks, and not one of these cookbooks has the sauce recipe in it. And I'm like, well, come on. I have over 1,000 recipes at the page, and I can't put all of them in one book. So the first book has all Belizean recipes, 120 of them. And I don't have enough Belizean recipes to make a second Belize book. You know what I mean? And then the third book, well, not the third, God, I'm writing the third right now. The second book has 111 of all the awesome stuff that I've done here at the page. Says you made it. Yes. Yes. You guys like my my mic windscreen thing? Joe made this. Oh, it's see-through. Oh crap, because this is green and it's a green screen. It is so see-through right now, and that's the wind protector thing for the mic. So says congratulations to you and the family for voting today. I feel like you guys canceled out my brother's vote. Just saying. So yesterday morning, okay, we rode the bike on Saturday, and I only went 4.2 miles and back because I kind of felt short of breath, because when the wind starts blowing, it starts to kick up the allergies and asthma and stuff like that. The next day I felt a lot better on Sunday, so we went like 6 point something miles and back. I'm trying to build up the stamina for about 12 miles to make that feel easy before we go to the end again. Remember we made it to the end one time and it wrecked me. So I'm like, I'm not doing that again until I build up stamina. So we couldn't ride the bike yesterday, which was Monday, because when we woke up, the winds were sustained, not even gusting, but sustained. They were sustained like at about 60 miles an hour and gusted up to 75. I went to the post office and there were things like literally swirling around our heads, like trying to knock us out in the head. I'm like, the hell with this. I'm not going to the post office today till tomorrow when it quiets down. My whole fence went out. The fence separates us from the neighbors over there going west. And it's the cheap pine, planks or whatever. We can't afford block wall. I can't afford those vinyl things. I don't know if they would stay up any better, but they would weather the storms better. And so like the back, not the side fence, that leads to an alley. And so we've fixed that over the years, a little bit at a time till that's fixed. I mean, it could always be better, but it's fixed. Over here is wrecked because the people that owns next door, they had only put up fence on their side and mine was breaking up, but they took a lot of my hardware and stuff to make their fence. So now Joe had to go buy, I swear to you, 26 fence palings, the 2x4s, and like the brackets or hinges or bolts. I don't know what the hell holds up the 2x4s. He had to go buy those, and it was $147, guys. I got so depressed. Joy is like, Mom, I'll give you some money towards that, okay? Let's see what the other two kids will give when they get paid. So, because they don't get paid till like the first. So, Joe is fixing quite a bit of the fence with that amount of fence paling and using some of the stronger wood. So the topic came to me. Nobody's saying nothing. You guys are just listening. The topic came to me that I should talk about tall fences making for good neighbors, because the neighbors next door, right? They're renters. I don't know who owns the property. When we first moved in here in 1996, the people that lived there, they had just bought the house maybe 6 months prior to us buying this house. And it was a husband and wife and a kid, like 4 years old. Joshua was 6 when we moved here, and Jory was 4. So the kid was somewhere, between 4 and 5. And I know I couldn't even put in for an insurance claim. Usually with the winds, I could put in for an insurance claim because the deductible is $500, and the entire fence is going to come to $600, but that portion it's coming pretty close to $250 because Joe went back to the hardware store again. After the $147, he's back there again. So they would have to meet the $500 deductible first before they paid out any money. So it doesn't make any sense to put in a claim. Anyways, back to the people who live next door. They were a Mexican family. I think the husband and wife were born in Mexico. The kid was born here. The wife spoke English. The husband spoke, very poor English. But I think he used that a lot to go, ¿qué? Like he doesn't understand. He understood a lot more than he was trying to do. The one thing that I would tell you that they did when I first moved in that kind of turned me off, I used to have products that my dad used to sell, the peppers and the ricotta and, the cheese and all that other stuff. I used to have here in a pantry in the garage. And then my dad's customers would stop here, the ones that live further out east from LA, because I live 50 miles east of LA. They would stop here to pick up their products. I would collect the money from my dad, and he would give me a small commission. And so I'm always doing some type of business, child, So the neighbors came over, and Joe showed them the pepper sauce, the Belize pepper sauce. And he was showing it to them like, if you want to buy any, right? And the man took the pepper sauce and says, gracias. And he went home with it. Child, I ran his ass down. I know, sis. I ran him down. I'm like, wait. No gratis, no free. Give me that back. This is for sale. Vender. Okay? And he go, ¿qué? And that's how I call him ¿qué ever since then. So that was like the one negative thing that they did when we first moved in. But we just said hand by. We never went over there. They were never allowed to come over here. And so finally one day they had another baby. And I guess the dad used to work at night, so he would stay home during the day and take care of the kids. The mom worked during the day because she eventually got a job. And he came over one day with the baby, I swear was like 6 months old. And he says, can you babysit the baby for me until she gets home? And I'm like, wait, doesn't she work like in LA at LAX? When is she going to come home? And then he goes, later this evening. I'm like, so how the hell am I supposed to pick up my kids from school? Because I have car seats for all these babies, and now I have to pick up your baby without a car seat. Are you crazy? My child is not going to ride without a car seat, and I sure as hell not going to take yours in my car without a car seat because I know the rules. And he's like, I don't care. Just strap him in the seat, I was like, child, no. And that's when I learned then and there that no is a complete sentence, and it's an answer. You can say no to people. I said no. After that, he kept his distance. He didn't cut his eyes at me or nothing, but he kept his distance. Eventually, they moved. They sold a house and they bought a house in Texas because they wanted to be able to go back and forth to Mexico more easily. And then I don't know who all has lived in that house, honestly, because I don't look. When I come out my house, I just look to see if the killer's there, and I get in my car and leave. I don't really look to say hi to neighbors. Joe is the one that says hi to neighbors. I don't. They probably think I'm a bitch, but I don't care. I just feel like when you make friends with people, they take advantage of you. So fast forward to the people that are renting next door. The mother, the woman that rents with the husband, and they have a son that's probably maybe Jada's age. He's very unfriendly. The boy has always been very unfriendly. They have a daughter that's probably late 30s, and she is the family over there are Guatemalans. The daughter's husband is Mexican, and he's a really, really nice guy, really sweet guy. The daughter comes over there every day because I think they conduct business from there. Once upon a time, their business, I don't know if they still have this business, but I haven't seen any activity in a while, since, especially since COVID. And their business was in trucking. So they would put the big trucks on the road. And then when their drivers came in, like once every 2 weeks or so, to go over the hours and the paycheck and everything, they would park these, the front part of the big trucks, because the big trucks are not allowed to come on my street. And they would park their SUVs and whatever. And they would just take up any parking that they want to take up for like hours until they bailed. And I was like, you know what? You're not supposed to conduct the type of business here in our city. There are rules about the type of business you can conduct, because if it's causing traffic to start to park on residential street, you can't do it. You just simply cannot do it. They will turn you down from getting that business license. Even in the business that I conduct right now, there are a lot of rules that you guys don't know about pertaining to me selling the books. You know what I mean? Like, people are not supposed to come here and pick up the books. That's one of the rules. So anywho, back to the story at hand. The mother was friendly enough, but I didn't get close enough to even know their names. I can't tell you if I would recognize what the husband looks like. I wouldn't know if I saw him in the street. And the girl was, friendly enough, but she was getting so friendly that she even gave us her phone number. I don't have the phone number because I never saved it in my phone when she texted it. But every time we'd leave to go to the car, if we see them outside, we're like, hey neighbor, how are you doing? And they do like chair rentals and stuff like that out of there. So it's like, be decent. When we'd come back from the beach with Jada, they'd say, how was the beach today? Did she make good money? Was it, decent out there with the weather? They would, that kind of stuff, how you doing type of stuff. So I was kind of shocked when the daughter started to like drive her car through my driveway. So the driveway has a dip for you to go in, you dip down and then you kind of mount the driveway. So they would get into the dip, they would mount the sidewalk, swipe a piece of my driveway, drive on the sidewalk and go park on their lawn. And that started to really irritate me, because it's like, why are you constantly coming in through my entrance when you have your own entrance? Now, keep in mind that my house sits more forward on the land, so we cannot have cars parked back to back, or back to nose or whatever. They can, because the house sits more back on the land, so they have less backyard, they have more of a driveway, and they can actually park cars, nose to nose like that, right? Or nose to back. I don't know how to say it, but one car here, and then they can go across. So they can actually get 2, 4, 6 cars in their yard. I can only get 3. And so, for them to come swiping in all the time, a lot of the times Jada is backing out and she'll check. And when she checks again, she doesn't see them and she's backing out. So it started to infuriate me. Cess, you remember that when that was going on, right? I talked that in a couple of my lives because I didn't used to leave the live events up. And Jada went out there one day after months of this happening, like a good 4 or 5 months of this happening, and me getting more and more irate. And I tend to do that. I tend to let things well up inside of me, like people hurt my feelings. And I tend to not say anything until it's like in me. And then I explode. And then I explode over everybody and everything. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be that way anymore in my life. So Jada was in the window one day when she came and she goes, Mom, can I go tell her? I'm like, go. So Jada got out there quicker than I did, because one time she was going to back out through my driveway. And I was with the camera because I was vlogging, and I waited and she looked in her rear view mirror and she looked at me and so she knows I didn't like it. She knows I didn't like it because she did not back out when I was filming her. So finally, Jada got out there and Jada says, hey, Evelyn, please don't come through our driveway anymore, because you're going to cause a wreck if we're backing out and we don't see you. And Jada said it matter-of-factly, but she didn't say it rude because I could hear her. And so, right, Seth? So anyways, she looked at Jada and she said, I didn't think it was an issue. Now, I don't know if there was a tone in that sentence. Jada thought there was a tone, but keep in mind, Jada was already pissed. All right. So there could have been a tone. They could maybe not have been a tone, but she says, I didn't think it would be a problem. But even if there wasn't a tone, guys, that's not something that you say. If you want to be a good neighbor, you should say, you know what? I wholeheartedly apologize. I thought I was only going to be doing it like a couple of times to just swipe in, and then it became a habit, and I didn't realize how much I was imposing upon you guys. That's what I would say. I'm good at apologies. I try not to have to ever apologize. Somebody's here. I think it might be Jada. I try not to ever do anything to have to apologize because I hate doing apologies because they suck. But if I have to do one, I can do a very good apology and mean it. An apology means turn around and don't do that crap again. Is Joe back already?
Yeah.
Dang, that was quick.
Where did he go?
Home Depot.
All right, let me get my water bottle and my book.
Okay. Yeah, so I just like really tend to keep things in, and I tend to let people use and abuse me to the point that when I shut down, I shut everybody out. You know, so these people, we weren't supposed to like them anyway because they're Guatemalans. Let's just put it that way. And for the people that are watching that are not aware of Belizeans and Guatemalans thing.
All right, I'll text you.
All right, babe. You think you're going to be there long?
No, like an hour. An hour and a half.
Text me when you arrive. Hold that wheel with both hands, okay? Going down those little hills and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a fly in here. Somebody, please kill it. You need to alternate the boards on your fence to some of wind. You need to alternate the boards on your fence so some of the winds can blow through. I don't understand what that means. What does alternated mean? I'm going to ask Joe if he understands what you're saying, Captain Chaos. Joe, what does this person mean when they say you need to alternate the boards on your fence so some of the wind can blow through? What does alternate mean? You need to alternate the boards on your fence so that some of the wind can blow through. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean, alternated? Turn one upside down? What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't even put on when you put on these wooden fences. That's for
it all has gaps in there.
Because even if when they're new, when they're young,
they shrink.
They shrink.
Yeah, they have gaps going through every piece of fence paling that we put up. So what are you talking about, Captain Chaos? Explain yourself, please.
The thing just get
you got some explaining to do.
The wood is old and the wind comes out.
What does in and out says? I know alternate mean in and out, but what the hell does that mean? Leave a big gaping hole in between each fence paling? I have 2 whole dogs. Joe's like giving you the hand, like he says, "Shut up, Captain Chaos." That's what he said. He's like, or explain yourself. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so the fence blew down, and friggin' Cora went over to those people's yard. I was like, thank God it was between 3 and 4 in the morning that there was nobody else for them to claim she bit them. So I'm like, I told you guys a fly just came in with you, Joe, from the fly bush. So anyways, Joe has been out there since this morning putting the stuff. Every other board is on the other side. The hell does that mean? Like on the neighbor's side? He said every other board is on the other side. What does that mean? See, I'm not dumb. Joe doesn't get it either.
All the fence do the same thing. What's the big deal? An answer.
Joe already pissed off. So you see how they sell the panels, they don't look even or flush. Yeah, I don't know if he's saying like put one here on the, what do you call that part? Joe, what do you call that part where it goes so 2x4? Like put one here and one here? Then that would be their fence. Oh, F them. They can eat shit and die young. F them, yeah. Oh, F them, Captain Chaos. No. They can eat shit and die young. I'm telling you. No, I'm not giving them my goodwill. Are you crazy? Did you see the name of this thing? Tall fences make for great neighbors. I don't want to see them. It's like, no. And you know what? They know I have a YouTube channel. They probably watching. I don't care. That was rude of them to do what they do to us, to use and abuse. And then when you tell them about it, they get pissed off. The mother is a pastor from a church that she owns. And Joe sees them in the grocery store and she turns her head. What did I tell you guys about the pastors? You know how inflamed I get about them, right? It's like, are you kidding me? The girl always look rusty and dusty. And she just, when she's getting in her car, she could get like a whiplash turning her head from him. Like, bitch, I don't want to see you. Because I'm really good at diluting my eyes, you know. What do you call the thing when your pupils dilate? Dilating my eyes, diluting. I'm really good at dilating my eyes so I don't have to friggin' see you.
Sorry, but when I got if this was only my fence.
Yeah, screw them. And they're renters. They're not the owners. They're renters. The owners don't care. They will call the owner and say, fix this fence, and they'll never come out.
They don't care.
They'll never come out. The hell? No. No. I paid too much money for these planks. It's like, that's how I am. If I'm having a feud with you, God always shows you to me first. When I'm in the street, I will see you first. That way I can pretend not to see you. That's how I flow. You will never surprise me and see me first, because I always be looking around. Oh, F her. She gets her little whiplash going because she don't want to look at. I'm like, look, this is already a Guatemala Belize war. I should have never befriended you guys in the first place.
Because it has to stop drive in the drive. If it was me, I'm gonna say sorry, and I'm gonna do it again, and I would be hard for you.
No, Captain Chaos. No, I'm petty. I'm petty because I don't do facade. That's what Cindy said. I'm petty as F because I don't do facade. I'm not going to be doing that. The fence came down because it's only their side that has fence, and the wood is all broken and old and tattered. We used to have good fence, but then that came down too, so we putting that up. Oh, no. Then people not getting my good wood. Screw that. No. When the people moved into my dad's yard, my sister paid for people to come out and did a survey to show them that this is mine. Because when my dad lived next door, my sister didn't mind which yard spilled over into what. But when people bought the house, child, they had to chop that stuff up. So it's like, yeah, these people next door, I don't know who the hell lives there. When I first moved in, this one big family lived there forever and ever and ever. It was a multi-generational family. They moved to Pennsylvania, and then another lady bought the house with her grown adult son. Joe, I'm doing a live, and she lived there for a short time. She couldn't pay the note. From the time she bought the house, she couldn't afford the note. I felt so sorry that she had to move because she was real super friendly and was just her and her son. So we knew there would be no issues. And then she lost the house, and then these people bought it. I think the young man that lives there is the owner. And he had a girl living there. I don't know if that was a wife or a girlfriend. And they had 2 daughters. And when they moved in, they weren't like unfriendly. The minute they moved in, they came over to invite us to a christening. The lady was becoming the godmother to a my cousin Effie always calls me when I'm doing a live. It never fails. And I told him, it's okay. Thank you so much for inviting us, but you don't have to invite us in order to enjoy your party. You can play your music as loud as you want, as late as you want. We're not going to be the one that tell on you. The people in the back, that away, there's like one white family living back there. The rest are all Mexicans. That white family will tell on you. The rest of the Mexicans are all family. They're all related. They're not going to tell. They have their own parties. And I said, we'll get to know each other over time. But I didn't want to go sit at a christening with people I didn't know. You know what I mean? So then afterwards, she moved out. Well, her dad was staying there, and he was fixing cars on the street, a street side mechanic. And eventually code enforcement got after him because they're strict over here. And he had to go rent an apartment. And then years later, he was going to Mexico and he crashed and died. Poor thing. So the guy's dad lives over there, and I think his mom lives over there. The girl had come back for a spell with the kids. And when they came back, okay, first when they moved in with a friggin' goat. A goat. They kept it on a very short leash like this onto a tree. And the goat screamed for at least 100 of my original videos. You can hear the goat screaming when I'm trying to talk and do my videos. And it screamed like a woman getting attacked, okay? And then I don't know what happened to the goat. I don't know if they killed it and ate it or what. So then they left. Fast forward years, they left. And when they moved back in, now the neighbors that lived there, the ones that moved to Pennsylvania, they had fixed the fence when the guy came into some money, and they put some really decent wood. So that fence on that side is pretty decent. We fixed the back. So when they when the lady came back with the daughters, they brought back not 1, but 3 cats. 3, count them, 3 cats. I was like, what the hell? So the cats are a nuisance. They sleep underneath Joshua's car. They poop under the entire length of the car. They get into our shrubbery, my beautiful plants that I have in front. Joe has to have a lot of wire mesh like we're in prison around it so they don't wreck the stuff over there. They sleep on top of our car. Thank God we have old cars that if they scratch it up, it's not going to hurt so bad. But if it was a brand new car that I was making payments on, child. And then over here, the rule is if you want to get rid of a cat, you got to buy or rent the trap. And then you trap the cat and then you take it to the pound where they will subsequently kill it. So either way, the cat going to end up dead. You know what I mean? So I'm like, God, I don't like cats. I'm never going to ill-treat an animal, but I don't like cats. And so they need to, I don't know what else to tell these people about their cats. It's like the girls moved out, the cats are just roaming the street. At this point, they're pretty much feral. Oh my God, this man can make noise. Did you break it?
No.
He dropped the whole pepper sauce.
Yes, no.
Make mess? I'm not cleaning up mess. And if Cora comes in, she's going to lick up all that pepper and get burned. So that's the story of my neighbors. I'm not going to talk about the neighbors across the street because I know that they watch my videos all the time. I'm going to leave it at that. There's my cup of water. I left it over there. So today for breakfast, I did sourdough waffles. And that's one of the recipe that's in the Pantry Laid Bare. And so I've made a playlist today. I made a playlist for the Beans and Rice Volume 2. And I gonna, every time I make a video from one of the recipes from that book, I'll put it in that playlist. I'm not gonna go get the old ones, the old videos that I've done a long time ago. And every time I make one from the other book, I put it in that playlist so that people can stop coming for me and saying, I didn't see this recipe in your books. I'm like, I can't put all the recipes in 2 books. They don't want you to get the books too fat. You know what I mean? So do you have stories of horrible neighbors or good neighbors, whichever one? Yeah, stop coming with these recommendations, Google. Tell me one of your stories if you'd like to tell the story. Today is cold. The wind that's blowing is cold. So I think we made it maybe into the mid 60s today. For California, that's cold for us. It started off in the 50s. And I still put this on even though it's cold because I did a show. But I'm going to go get dressed warm in a second here. I'm not going to do these live events for more than an hour because, we have to save to do the 20 hours, to not go over the 20 hours a month with StreamYard because I'm not paying for that because they want $220 a year if I'm supposed to pay $20 a month. If not, it's going to be more than that if I pay it monthly. And these videos right now are not making money for me to be able to afford all of that. So, cost per whatever. So, I want to move ahead to another topic. A lot of people ask me what cameras I use for the show. The one that I'm using right now that I'm talking to you guys on is called Canon M50. Emma's in Marie. Canon M50. That's the one that I'm using. It has a mic jack. And it really is a good camera, but it's not better than this camera for when it comes to taking photos of the food and even for when it's on my skin. This really smooths out my skin to make me look gorgeous. This one is too honest. It's always showing this dark hyperpigmentation that I have here that I hate. I'm like, look, make that go away. So this camera has a screen that lifts up like this. So you can do it for, vlogging and stuff, but I don't really vlog with this camera. I vlog with another Canon camera that's called the Canon ELPH PowerShot 340. It's an old camera, and that's really good for outdoors. Has really good mic, really good sound. This one I need to clean. It has dough all over it. This is the camera that I wanted to get another one of. This camera is 4 years old, but it's so good that I wanted to have a second one for when this one goes out. But I'm sitting on the money because I just felt like things were going to come up that's going to need money. And of course, look at the fence issues. 3 o'clock, I have a premiere at my other YouTube page. It's going to be Chimole, Belize and Black Dinner. So this is a PowerShot. Oh, it can't come on because I have the battery charging. But the lens will open up when you turn the camera on. A lot of YouTubers are snatching up those cameras at 3 and 4, quantity of 3s and 4s because they know it works great for them. The microphone on that camera is booty. It always sounds like there's a fan running in the background when you're using the microphone on that camera. So every time I want to get good quality audio, I use this one as my second camera, that one as my first camera, and I just use the audio from this one. The audio that you're hearing from this camera right now is not truly from the camera, it's from this mic, okay? Because with this interface, I have to use a mic. So we don't want to belabor these live events if nobody's going to participate. It's only Cess and Captain Chaos that was talking. Thank you for your suggestion, Captain Chaos, but yeah, we're not going to give the neighbors any of our fence painting. It's too expensive, and we're just going to fix our side and screw them. That's what we're going to do. All right, I'm stop for a minute, give you guys a chance, because Joe's like scraping that plate and it's really getting into my brain. Stop for a minute, give you guys a chance to say whatever you want to say, and then we're going to move on. You guys have anything to input about a neighbor? I want to remind you guys, I know that people get pissed off with this channel because they're like, this channel used to be fun and it was just about reviews. I'm going to review stuff. But for right now, I don't have the time to learn how to use the 3 items that I want to review because I really have to keep things in order with what I'm doing right now. And I'm finally starting to find some peace because I have things under control, even with the 3rd book that I'm writing. The 3rd book that I'm writing, I want it to come out in time for Valentine's because it's going to be, I'm thinking that book will be only desserts. So I want it to be ready in time for Valentine's. And if that's the case, I'm going to have to turn it in right after New Year's. So that means I literally only have 2 months to write that book. And Cess will attest to what I went through to write this book right now that I have. So I'm going to have to really and truly get down and dirty and start putting these recipes together, because not only do I have to like write the recipes, but I have to test them, make sure that they're legit. You know what I mean? So I'm going to put myself through this again, guys, but my products are going to be cookbooks. I see a lot of mukbangers, they have spices and stuff for their products. And I wanted my products to be pots and pans, but I can't hook up with nobody to do that. And so I don't want it to be spices because if anybody dies, I don't want them to blame me, even if a lab made it for me. Nope. I was in the industry that created shampoos and conditioners and body wash and stuff. And even if a lab made a product, if somebody had a breakout because of it, they blame the person selling the product with their name on it. They don't blame the lab. You know what I mean? So I don't want to mess with food like that. So my products are always going to be cookbooks, and I'm just going to keep making them as long as I have great recipes. And I'm not going to be like swapping recipes out of one book into the next book, because that's not fair to the people who have bought each book. So every time I make a book, it's going to be its own individual recipes. I'm not going to do like what these preachers do, where they take one scripture and they break it down across one book, and then they go into another book and they swap it out and put it out. No, I'm not going to do that. You know? So anyways, guys, I want these lives to be about an hour, but if I feel like I'm talking to myself, I'll end them early like today. And I'm going to go relax before my premiere starts at the cooking page for YouTube. And then the same premiere will show at Facebook for at 4 o'clock. All right. So thanks for coming in, and look for a video probably tomorrow on the mask that Joe is making right now. I'm not going to show you how. Oh, Joe, stop scraping the plate, please, baby. I love you, but I hate that. Oi. So I'm going to get Joe a plastic spoon, a rubber spoon to eat off of, because he has a habit where he's eating, but he's scraping, eating and scraping, and that stuff. He can't hear it because he's hearing impaired, but I can hear every scrape that's happening. Yeah. So what was I saying? The mask. I did not show you guys how to make the template in the video because I don't know how to make the template, and Joe would have to go back and find the video that he learned how to make the template from. So what I've been doing is sending the template to people who want to make their own mask, because I'm not going to make any masks to sell because people complain too much, and I can't stand to deal with customer service when it comes to anything that we sew, because we already let people know that we don't really know how to sew. Belizeans would say we cobble, you know, we don't sew, we cobble. And yet people, my grandmother sewed all her life, and yeah, the stitches you did, I can do better. And I'm like, I lose my mind. I lose my mind. Okay. So we're not selling no masks, and I give away to only who I want to give away to, but I'll show you guys how to make it. All right. Thanks for popping in, guys. I will see you at the premiere.